In 1943, Britain created one of the strangest plans of World War II. A plan so unusual, it involved a soldier who never existed. The goal was simple: fool Adolf Hitler and the Nazi military. The Allies were preparing their next major attack in Europe. Their target was Sicily, the gateway to mainland Italy. But Germany knew an Allied invasion was coming. If Hitler discovered the real location, the invasion could fail. Thousands of soldiers could die before reaching the shore. Britain needed a way to hide the truth. They would not use more weapons or more soldiers. Instead, they would use deception. A secret operation was born inside British intelligence. The plan required creating an entirely fake person. A man with a name, history, and personal life. British agents invented Major William Martin. He would appear to be a real British officer. But a name alone would never fool enemy spies. So they created every detail of his imaginary life. He needed memories, relationships, and everyday problems. Everything had to look completely authentic. The greatest deception of the war was beginning. But one question remained: who would become Major Martin? The mission needed someone who could carry the secret. The answer came from a tragic accident in London. A man named Blinder Michael became part of history. His identity would disappear, replaced by a fictional soldier. British agents carefully prepared every final detail. They dressed him as a Royal Marines officer. A uniform gave the fake identity credibility. Then came the most important part: the documents. Inside were fake plans for an Allied invasion. The papers suggested Greece was the real target. Sicily was mentioned only as a false possibility. The lie needed more than military information. It needed a believable human story. So they created a fictional romance. They added receipts, bills, and personal memories. Every small detail had one purpose: to make German spies believe he was real. The final piece was a locked briefcase. Inside was information that could change the war. Now Britain had to deliver the message to Hitler. A British submarine received the secret mission. The submarine was HMS Seraph. Its crew carried the secret that could fool Germany. The mission was carried out in complete secrecy. The crew sailed toward the coast of Spain. Near the Spanish coast, they prepared for the final step. Major William Martin was placed into the sea. The waves carried the secret toward enemy intelligence. Then the submarine disappeared into the darkness. Hours later, Spanish fishermen discovered the body. Spanish authorities recovered the mysterious officer. With him was the briefcase Britain wanted found. Inside were documents that appeared completely genuine. The papers revealed a fake Allied invasion plan. The information quickly reached German intelligence agents. They carefully studied every detail. The fake identity appeared impossible to question. The trap was working exactly as Britain hoped. But the final decision belonged to Hitler. Would Germany believe the story of a dead soldier? The answer would change the course of the war. German leaders believed the documents were authentic. The deception had reached the highest levels of command. Hitler became convinced Greece was the real target. Germany began moving troops away from Sicily. The wrong battlefield received the enemy's attention. Troops prepared for an invasion that would never come. Meanwhile, Sicily became more vulnerable. The Allies had achieved something remarkable. A dead man had influenced a living army. But now came the real test. Would the deception be enough when the attack began? On July 10, 1943, the Allies launched Operation Husky. Thousands of soldiers crossed the Mediterranean. The invasion arrived before Germany could fully react. The German defenses were not prepared for the attack. The Allies pushed deeper into Sicily. The fake documents had done their job. Germany finally realized it had been fooled. But by then, the invasion was already underway. The dead soldier had delivered Britain's greatest lie. Operation Mincemeat had changed the battlefield forever. Operation Mincemeat became one of history's greatest military deceptions. It showed that information could be as powerful as weapons. The operation did not win the war by itself, but it helped create confusion inside the enemy command. Thousands of decisions were influenced by a carefully designed lie. The fake Major William Martin became a legend. The world eventually learned the truth behind the mystery. The secret operation remained hidden for many years. The men behind the plan had changed history quietly. Their weapon was not an army or a machine. Their weapon was a story. A story convincing enough to fool the strongest enemy. A dead man carried the message that changed history. Major William Martin never existed. But the mission he carried was very real. It proved that the mind could defeat overwhelming power. The greatest victories are not always won on battlefields. Sometimes they are won in secret rooms. With a document, a disguise, and a brilliant idea. Operation Mincemeat remains one of the boldest tricks in history. Because sometimes, the deadliest weapon is the lie your enemy believes.
Smash that like button, subscribe for more awesome videos, and ring the bell to stay updated.